Hey everyone, like I sit there and said, I was going to use the new camera today for this episode. It's a little too cold to be outside, so we're back in the library, which is a little bit of a mess. Sorry, it is my office at the same time. I'm Gavin, and this is my dad, and we are going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 7 of Into the Badlands, and we are here with our unofficial Talking Badlands show. The name of this episode was, and I cannot remember on top of my head. What was it?
I can't either.
Black Heart, White Mountain. So everybody, we're a little tired. It was the first Saturday in May. A lot of stuff's going on here in our state. It was Free Comic Book Day today all over the nation, so we're a little tired from that. So basically, 3 segments, which I'm kind of noticing is the theme for how they tell the story. There's 3 segments. There's usually a major segment, a sub, and a little small one. We'll start with the small one first, which we kind of saw this coming, was the whole Jade, the writer's wife.
Second wife.
Writer's wife.
No, writer's wife. Quinn's second.
Yeah, Quinn's second wife. Her finding out that everyone's abandoning her. She's taking a bath. Everyone's abandoning her. So she's kind of shocked in a sense, and then finds out that the widow is basically coming in on the land. So that everyone pretty much start turning on her. The people that are loyal to her sit there and say, Baroness, she'll say, I'll get what I can and we'll get out of here. Well, that does not happen because, unfortunately, all those people die. One gets a butterfly to the back of the head. And then, of course, whatever happened to the rest of her, man, I don't know. Probably dead. One of the things that was said was that the people are either dead or they're siding with the widow. So the widow basically puts her up against the wall. I'm not going to kill you because I don't kill women. Well, really, I'm sorry. I'm
a little too cliche.
Yeah, a little too cliche in my opinion. But he might, and it shows Quinn, which I'm going to let you explain this part real quick.
Yeah, Quinn comes in, he gives her, not a sob story, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, he has a meeting with her, kind of a semi-come to Jesus in his own way, and he kind of lets her know
we're the same.
We both came up the same way, so, there's not difference in that aspect, and I'll let you live for right now.
I'll let you live, but you got to join me, which was something that was said. She basically said, you can't love. All you do is hate and kill. Conniving old little bastard man. Ryder loved me and I loved him. Basically sitting there saying flat out that you're half the man your son was. And she said, if you're going to kill me, go ahead and kill me. Which kind of, to me, it was kind of a...
Yeah, she was sticking him metaphorically with words.
So basically he said, kick her out, put her on the edge of the Badlands, and then that's it. And so Widow's kind of surprised on that one. She's kind of distraught on that, like what's going on. The Widow's kind of showing her true self. She's a little bit of a psychopath, really more, and Matilda's starting to get like that too. I mean, they both had that smile and little, I'm going to kill you. It's like, okay, you're not as nice as you claim to be. Second story is which more is Baji and MK have to basically go back to the Abbott home, the temple area, to save Sunny. Sunny has been hit with the 5 poison technique, which is basically 4 fingers here, over here, and then 1 over here. And basically what it is the body poisoning itself. If you guys don't understand, it's hitting acupuncture points, certain spots in the body, and when our body basically it detoxes itself, it's basically the toxins are killing us.
That's the reason why you go to the bathroom. That's all them toxins your body is expelling.
Right. So basically, MK has to convince him to come to go. He doesn't want to go. We learn a little bit more history about Baji, as well as
Master.
Yeah, Master's an old woman. He calls her an old woman. We find out she's basically his sister and says, "You were my greatest hope and my biggest disappointment." Basically, the one thing that was really nice is Baji did a flip. Yes, I will spoil that. Baji did a flip. Yeah, I know it was wire work, but still, though, for this...
It really looked good.
It looked good.
Still cool. You'll need to rerun that. If you have a DVR, run that back and watch it. It's cool.
Yeah. Anyone sorry, yeah, I'll make sure tap me on the shoulder or something. Since we only got one mic right now and I don't have a setup for it. Now, one thing at this point is that Baji gets the compass that was Sonny's, kind of hides that in a sense from MK. Basically, it took convincing for Baji to go back. Of course, they get out. I'm not going to explain all that. This is going to be a little shorter episode, everybody, than what we usually do. I'm really, really, really tired. I'm probably just going to load this up and go to bed. But the one thing that I did notice on this one is Baji knows he's not stupid. He's highly intelligent. Of course, they save Sonny, which I'm not going to say how, which, it is Baji, does a lot of stuff. I'm going to let Dad explain a little bit more what's happened to Sonny at the same time. One thing with Sonny is he's in a dream sequence. I'm going to let Dad explain this whole dream sequence here, which is pretty much the big part of the series, and we'll explain the end, and, so...
Well, what happens is after those 5 pressure points are hit on Sonny and the toxins are working on his body, of course it's working on his brain also, and he's going into, like you said, going into like a dream state, and in this dream state he's facing some of his earlier demons, and one of the main demons was...
What? No, go ahead and say it. What's your segment?
I'm having a senior moment right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. They said demons is somebody he's killed. Your brain will automatically, believe it or not, you hear veterans talk about they can see the people they killed, and what it is the fact is their body does remember, their mind does, you do remember. It's something that's burned into you, so you might not remember it fully, but subconsciously you remember.
Right, subconsciously you would remember, and part of it has to do with guilt. He did, and he didn't want to kill his people. Some of them came after him, and some of them he killed in part of his duties as a clipper, having to clip different people. But which a clipper also does assassination work. Your boss says go kill them, you go kill them. Man, woman, child, it doesn't matter.
Right, so that was one of the big things is Sonny, like we said, it's like a what-if type of dream where he has a normal life. He gets to see Henry, his wife, and then everything kind of starts going down, like the guilt comes in. The guilt, the main little protagonist, or bad person, well, I think it's protagonist, I can't think tonight. Protagonist, is basically, she has very much of a, kind of reminds me of a Japanese horror movie, the way she was.
Yes.
Not direct to the point and everything, very much creeping, using psychological on him. The big thing is on this one is Sonny's having to fight his demons, and all of his markings start bleeding out. So it's also, not only that is, he doesn't want the life he has for his son. Now they do, he does get saved, and basically MK says in so many words and said, I can't lose you, you're pretty much the only family I have left. So that kind of hits Sonny a little bit. MK grew up.
Yeah, he did.
He grew up. He finally grew up. I'm actually starting to like his character more. One of the big things is that with Baji, he says what happens. There's a girl he trained called, her name was Flea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was little.
And basically, she used her power to try to save some people by cutting herself, but everybody died. Even the people
the one she was supposed to save.
Yeah, well, tell me if you're going to talk. So,
okay, all right.
All right. One of the big things, though, in this one is that he talks about her. He got her out. He lost it, but for some reason he lost his gift. He didn't explain why. I personally think the girl he saved, which we hear from season 1, the widow sister says, "I used to be like MK" to her daughter. I think the girl Baji saved, the one he's looking for, is the widow.
Well, I think so also, too, because she had that book that she wanted Vale to translate, and Vale didn't. She had seen it, but she didn't know what it meant on that particular book, if you remember rightly, from season 1.
Right, so a little bit more is probably going to go on this next episode. I'm not going to say what the preview is for it, but I'd say this episode was pretty much directly straight to the point, everybody. There was no really hidden meanings into it, but it was a very, very good episode. I know next episode will be a little bit longer, guys. That's all I really got to say for this one.
Well, I have a little bit to say, and that was about when they went back to the abbot, the master. Like Baji says, she's a lot older than what she appears, and she has a lot of things that she is hiding, and that's going to come out in later episodes.
Yeah, I think the master's going to pop out, but that's it for this week, everybody. We'll catch y'all next week.